going in, most of your adults are going to be found around windows, doorways, open areas, because they're trying to get out. So they're usually easier to find. Firemen, on the other hand, are looking for all those little cracks and crevices where children like to hide. Children like to feel safe. They feel safe in closets. They feel safe under beds, under their covers, in bathtubs, in cabinets, in little nooks and crannies, because they think, hey, I feel safe right here. So we have to search all of those areas. That gets a fireman in those places where it's much harder to get out of. All right, hold on. Give me your hand. Give me your hand, Liam. There's this hose he went in on. All right. All right.
What you saw the other day was a down firefighter training scenario. We make it very difficult. We tend to put the firemen through an emotional as well as a physical training. We push them to the point to where they begin to panic. And then we teach them how to control their emotions and not lose their head. Because in an emergency situation, you're the only ones you can depend on is yourself. The strongest tool that you have in your toolbox, we teach, is the thing between your two ears. So we teach them also how to start thinking and think through the problems.
They all had the opportunity of having blacked out masks, full gear, so we were in full bunker gear, packs, everything, to experience what it's like to go into a house fire. When you go into a house fire, there is no light. Pretty much everything's black. All you have is residual glow of fire in the area, but you really can't tell where it is.
You can't see your hand in front of your face. You can't see the wall that you're about to run into, or the sofa that's in front of you, or the body that you're stepping over. So we do that to force them to rely upon their sense of touch and their sense of hearing.
The search and rescue, it was physically demanding. It was hard. Your knees start to hurt, especially on the concrete that we were crawling on. But if you put your mind and you tell yourself, I gotta get to this person, help them, get them out, gotta get to my fellow firefighter, you just kind of put that out the way and you go do it.
You can't see anything. We were completely blindfolded. There was a part where we were in here, in this area, and I thought we were in a closet in the other part of the building. I had no clue. When I got to the stairwells behind me, which is where our mock rescue ended, I didn't know how I got there. I had no idea where the stairs were. I thought I was in another building. And it was just simply because you have no visual point of reference whatsoever.
So the main point I wanted to get across to them was learning to use your other senses, your feeling, use your hands, use your ears. That whenever you don't have one sight, you don't have sight, your other ones are going to enhance. And that was the main thing I wanted to show them, that they can listen, they can feel, just to know where they're at.
In this case, you're going to strengthen your sense of touch and your sense of hearing, your sense of smell. If you're in a situation where you're blacked out and you're not on air yet, you can smell what's going on. Okay, so all your senses are heightened at that point when we take it out. But it also raises the level of anxiety in that person. If you were to take their blood pressure before we start, then I put the gear on, I put them on air, breathing air out of an air pack, and then I black out their mask where they can't see where they're going. And you check their blood pressure after, it's elevated. So automatically, they're getting nervous because they can't see where they're going. And we're so dependent upon our eyesight.
We can go out in a parking lot right now, I can blindfold you, and I guarantee you cannot walk a straight line from the front of the parking lot to the back. The human body is not made to be able to operate without seeing. That's something that you have to teach. That's when the feel comes in, being able to feel stuff, being able to allow your other senses to tell you where you're going. Yes, I hear crackling, I hear the truck on my left side, so I know I'm going into the building. I know I'm coming out if I hear it on my right ear. That's just, your senses have to come up.
When we go into a situation, we'll typically go in on a left-hand search pattern or a right-hand search pattern, which means we don't want that fireman to become the emergency. We want them to still stay the rescuer. In that case, they're always going to maintain to a wall. You can't see, So if they were just to walk straight in the middle of a room, they don't know whether they're supposed to go backwards, forwards, left, or right to get to a safe location. If something happens and they have to get back out, do they know where back out is? They might have gotten turned around in the center of a floor.
Say we come into the house, if you're gonna go on a right-handed search pattern, you're gonna stay on the right wall, right-handed wall, and you're gonna let your right hand just stay on the wall as you follow it around. That way, in case something does happen, things do go bad, turn around, use your left hand, you get right back out. Same thing the other way. Go in left-handed to get in, go in, come out right-handed. It's just basic firefighter. Any firefighter can do it.
But along a wall, what if the victim is in the middle of the floor? We're searching for him, trying to find that victim. So we try to cover as much area as possible. Typically, the lead firefighter, his hand or his foot will stay along that wall as they're moving into the room. The other firefighter, to cover more area, will stay on his opposite foot. He can stay in contact with that firefighter who's in contact with the wall. That way he always knows he's safe. He's putting his trust in his brother firefighter. That means he can cover more area. Now he can stretch out with his feet. So where one firefighter can only cover 4 or 5 feet wide pattern around the edge of a wall, now I can have 2 firefighters covering 10 feet away from a wall. If I go 10 feet around, all the way around one wall and 10 around the other, that's 20 feet of coverage.
All right, Keith, hold up, my pack's stuck. I guess I'm caught in my pack, Keith. You got it? No, feel this. It's a rope or something, it's caught in my pack.
We'll take ropes and stuff, we'll wrap up their body parts as they're moving along until it tightens up around them, and then they'll realize something's wrong. We hang things down, we droop it through the exercise so that they hang up on it and they can figure out how to get out of it.
You have to go, that goes back to feeling. You have to be able to feel where it's at, where it's coming from, how to get out of it, and make sure you're carrying the proper tools, knives, cutters, stuff like that. So where if you are in a situation you need to get out, you can get your own self out without having to rely on other firefighters to come in for you, because that ties up manpower. That puts all the focus from firefighting to rescue, and it just, things can go downhill really quick if that's the case.
So our exercise took us 15 minutes. 15 minutes is typically what we're gonna get out of 1 bottle of air. We have to get in, get our job complete, and get back out within 15, maybe 20 minutes if we're using good air conservation on our bottles. So that's why the exercise lasts as long as it does. We also try to push them to the limit. We try to give you a worst case scenario. That way, if you get there and there's a nice, easy situation, you go in, you spend your 5 minutes, you rescue your civilian, you pull them back out. But we train for the worst.